to keep quiet, or be asked to go to exile, or be put in jail, or if none of that happened and you still have a big head, you'll be given a position of power so that you can feed in and be told, now you're part of the eating group, you need to keep quiet. The country is beautiful. The economy is booming. It is booming. As long as it is booming in your pocket, why should you care about the plight of the poor? Fellow South Sudanese, in order to fix this nightmare, we find ourselves in, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of damage repair of our relationship among the Dinka community themselves. We are divided in cross clan, section, even inside your own family, we are also divided. That's how bad Kir Mayar made it impossible to create unity. Among the Nuer community, they are also divided into group loyal to Riek Machar, group loyal to Taban Dengai, group loyal to Ezekiel Olgarkot, group loyal to Garwit Dwal, and the list goes on. Among Dinka Bor, where I come from, we are also divided into group of Makonalwet, group of Kwalmanyang, group of Mamanyandengdit, group of, it's just so chaotic. Among Barkazal, it's also divided. So you can see it's not about Dinka being dominant group leading the country. It is just how one man decided to cause chaos among ourselves and expect us just to bend to his will, expect us to accept the narrative that as long as he's the God of the country, he's the authority that can decide your life and your fate and your history, then you don't have a say. So as we look into what the future, fellow South Sudanese, as painful as this experience has been, history reminds us that for a country to seek its identity, unity is paramount. Unity of purpose is paramount. Ethiopia would have never defeated Italians if they were not united. If there's anything we can learn from East African countries or Pan-African in general, the Battle of Adwa in Ethiopia explained to all of us that when unity is forged, the country will find her lost identity. South Sudan, as of right now, is a country governed in fear, intimidation, and in the middle of all of this, there are few people who are actually benefiting. Few people with their families, they're benefiting from all this chaos. Some would accuse the people of Warab being the beneficial of the liberation movement, and I can guarantee you, I've worked with so many of these people. They're great people. If there's only one section of Warab that is actually benefiting from this chaos, is Awan Ichan and Awan Mo group. Apuk, Twit Mayadit, and all the other Tony, they're not benefiting anything. They're just like you and I. It's just that they all have one region called Warab. But the only specific people that are benefiting, if you go around the president, you will find that 90% are people from Awan Ichan, Awan Mo area. And few other Nuer that you'll find, they are either from Bull, Nuer, where Tutkau come from, Joseph Montreal. The other one you will find is Gajo Gawang, this is where Taban Dengai and Ezekiel Olgarkwat come from. You'll find some few Lawnware element, and then the rest are just dumb. When it comes to Bor, you'll only find people of Makonelwet group, their dominant group. You'll find people of Mamanyaningit, their dominant group. You'll find people of Kwalmanyang, their dominant group. The rest of the Bor community are dumb. They are nobodies. They are not identified as South Sudanese in the context of Kir Mayar. So this is how the country is managed. And it's not a surprise. You wonder why the country is not moving in any direction. Because in the middle of all this chaos, the only thing that is done over here is divide the country resources into pockets of individual mentioned earlier. The reason the country natural resources or oil sector is being represented or owned by United Emirates, it is because United Emirates decided to give South Sudan some loan until 2027. And for that reason, the oil was given to United Emirates. And all the proceeds of oil, you were lied to that there were roads being built. It was just because public were asking a lot of questions. Where is the money? So why not come up with some bunch of lies as if you're doing something and then cut it off all of a sudden? That's exactly what was done. When the public became suspicious of what was going on in the country, where is the oil money going? The president came up with some wild idea that, we are building road to nowhere. And right now, as I speak with you, there's no such a thing as road. There are no schools, there are no hospitals, there are no humanitarian assistance to the vulnerable communities. And yet, the economy is booming. The economy is booming only in the pocket of very few individuals. And you wonder why the level of hatred has grown among the South Sudanese. Because number one, if we all fought this country together, we should expect to be treated much better. Our civilians need to be treated with respect. Leadership must provide guidance, must provide vision toward the country direction. None of that was given a chance. If you dare to speak like I speak on the street of Juba, you'll be labeled as the state enemy. They will unleash trained militia group, paramilitary group called the National Security, owned by President and his family. It's not even a national security protecting the identity of the country. It's just a military specifically owned by the president to intimidate to silence any voice that dissents against the president. You'll be met with a special force called Tiger Group, owned by the president family, to which right now I believe President's son is now the Brigadier General of the operation of the Tiger Group and National Security. So you could see it. The intention has not been about what the future of South Sudan is all about. The intention is to keep us in fear, to keep us hate each other, while through this chaotic situation, they can extend the government as much as they want. They can continue to rule the country in transitional government as much as they want, loot whatever it is that they need to loot at whatever they want, build their institutions, and fortify themselves with country assets, say that you and I should never have anything to say about that country. So the damage to fix South Sudan, South Sudan future and South Sudan's relationship has been damaged by the current regime, the current political situation in Juba has damaged the good South Sudanese we used to be. One would continue to say that it would take a lot of generations to fix this, and to fix this trust, for us to be able to trust each other as South Sudanese, to find common ground as South Sudanese. It's going to be very, very, very difficult, because in the mind of many South Sudanese, the other minority tribe, Dinka community has hijacked the government, has turned government into their own personal business. That's the narrative out there. And as Dinka, we have not been able to extend hand to other communities and welcome them as our brothers and sisters. We see them as enemies. We see them as oppositions. And as long as we have this narrative that other community hate us, it kind of sounds good for the president and his family to keep the Dinka unite, to protect him and his family in the name of other communities really hate us. They don't like us to be in the leadership. Well, if I must remind Mr. President and his family, we had about 2 Anyanya in history. The first Anyanya was not led by Dinka. The first Anyanya that created the autonomy of South Sudan was not led by a Dinka. It was led by Equatorian. The 1955 to 1972 under Joseph Lago was not led by Dinka. It was led by Ahmadi. And it was peaceful. Even the Arab we fought, Mr. President, were not as brutal as we South Sudanese ourselves. The Arab never came suppress civilian, bomb civilian at whatever the cost. The Arab never came and stole cattle from the villages. The Arab never asked civilians to leave their villages so that they can wage war. The Arab has always fought the SPLM, SPLA. As long as I can remember being part of that movement in the 80s, I've never seen Arab coming to refugee camp. I've never seen Arab going to the villages to fight innocent, unarmed civilian. But South Sudan government did. The government that we're supposed to call our own has shown has brutality, has indiscriminate kill innocent, wage military war against civilian in the eyes of the international community, and kill with impunity, arrest with no justification. So many good men are now sitting in jail around Juba for no reason, for no absolute reason. The only crime is because they were opposed to the way the government is running the affairs of the country, to the way Kir Mayar and his family are running the affairs of the country. That's the only crime. That's the crime of someone like Akolakur. That's a crime of someone like Bolomel. That's a crime of someone like Dr. Riek Machar, and so on. So many good men with national purpose. That's a crime of someone like Malongawan, Thomas Sherillo, Paganamom, Nial Deng Nial, and the list goes on. Oh, these people, they want regime change. They want to steal your leadership, Mr. President. Kill them. Send them to jail. So, as we move forward, it is up to us, the people of South Sudan, to seriously look deep inside our heart and forge that national unity that we seriously want. I don't know under what circumstance will it be possible. I don't know under what circumstance. But to you, Equatorian out there, please, you must have understood, Dinka are not the enemy. Kir Mayar is the enemy. and his family. To you, my Nuer family, innocent Dinka are not the enemy. Kir Mayar and his family are the enemy. They are the reason why we are in this crisis, not the people of Dinka. The people of Dinka are some of the most great people. They are some of the most welcoming society. They are some of the most generous community you can ever be friend with. So please, keep your neighbor as your neighbor. Don't divorce your Dinka wife. Don't divorce your Equatorian wife. Don't divorce your Nuer wife. We will be here there after all this chaos. We, the people of South Sudan, will be here. We'll be here. The world is watching day and night. Kir Mayar and his mafia group will be held accountable. They'll be held accountable internationally. This country called South Sudan was a collective work of all of us. Prayers. We sacrificed everything there is. We gave it all. We gave it our time as youth, as young boys, to carry gun on the defense of the country. Mothers in Western Equatoria, as I can remember, in 1994, used to welcome us wherever we go in the Battle of Torit. I was there. I was in Kiala, I was in Iquitos. I was in the division that fought in the Torit area, 1994. So I could walk in the land of Equatoria without being harassed, without being intimidated, without being shot at. But today, I'm an enemy. The same goes any Equatorian that would go to a Dinka land around that time. We used to see ourselves as brothers and sisters. The same goes our Nuer brothers and sisters. Without the Nuer community contribution to the second Anyanya 2, which now become SPLM, SPLA, we would never have this country called South Sudan today. But what do we have right now? We have a country that has been hijacked by special interest group, a country in which South Sudanese are told, oh, you see that person from Equatoria? He's an enemy. He's Thomas Cirillo. He doesn't like you. He want to kill you. I've met Thomas Cirillo many times. He doesn't look like a killer. He only looks like someone with grievances, someone who has a problem that has not been addressed correctly. Met Ruac Machar before. He seemed to be someone with a message of unity. Work with Pagana Mom, work with Nial Deng Nial, and the list goes on. So, more important message to you, the youth of South Sudan. The future is in our hands. Let's continue to speak when we see evil. Let's call the evil whatever the name is, the evil. What is happening in our country is not leadership, it's chaos at its best. Let's believe that before 2005, South Sudan was more united than it is today. Even when we went into referendum, independent, we were united. We only become disunited after we discover oil and after we have power in our hand, especially when Kir Mayar and his mafia group has the power in their hand. They failed to see the plight of the poor. I keep telling Kir Mayar and his group, South Sudan is one of the beautiful countries on the face of the earth. Has some of the best people. If you have a good leader who united people, South Sudanese are not troublemakers as perceived by the leadership. All they need is a leader that can provide leadership and respect different cultures, different boundaries, and work with the locals. And I guarantee you, Kir Mayar, if you manage to simply give yourself time to understand the mindset of South Sudanese, you will never want it to be a leader in any other country on the face of the earth. Because this is how we are. We are hardworking people. We're not beggars. We have too much pride in ourselves. You will never find a South Sudanese lining up on the street begging for food. The only reason why we become beggars is because you made us, you created that situation to ourselves. Go back in the 80s. You could walk from the land of Equatoria to the land of Barghazal, to the land of Bor, to the land of Upper Nile. You'll never find someone on the street asking for food. We used to cultivate. We used to keep our cattle. We used to dance. We used to have a lot of beautiful things. How do you think we managed to fall the longest civil war in African history? We managed it because we had that pride in ourselves. But now, the only problem we have right now is a leader that sees all of us as comrades. It's a leader that sees all of us as brothers and sisters, as countrymen. Not a leader that goes to sleep each night afraid of his own shadows and afraid of debate. So, the end will come soon. Kir Mayar is not a moral God on earth. He's a human being like all of us. South Sudan will be here thereafter. Everywhere you go, everywhere I've had conversation with South Sudanese, every person that I've talked to, regret is the only message I get. We regret to have separated from Sudan, because what we have in South Sudan right now is a hell more than the enemy who we're fighting with. It goes back exactly to the word of John Garang when he predicted that when South Sudanese leaders fail to provide leadership, the society, the public, will choose the memories of being with the enemy than being in their own country. If I cannot walk on the street of my own country as a free citizen, then what was the purpose of independence? If I cannot speak however I choose I need to speak, then where's my freedom of speech? Why is it that it is hypocrites when the people of Barghazal speak ill about other people, especially when people of Ruac speak ill about other people? Oh, they are heroes. They deserve more recognition. But when other society feel the same to address issues that are at hand, they are seen as enemies. Isn't that the best hypocrisy you can find? Go online, you see people of Ruac talking nonsense about other communities. You'll see them talking about protecting President Kir Mayar, as if President Kir Mayar is a president of Ruac. Last time I remember, he's a president of the Republic of South Sudan. As long as he's a government official sitting in the seat of the People Republic, people have the right to question him. with all due respect to you people of Warab, at home, yes, he's your son. Deal with that son of yours at home. But if he's in public leadership, he will be questioned. Mothers need to know what is the future. Children need to know what is the future. Fathers to whom he's leading the country with need to also ask what is the future. We cannot just be blindly led with the hope things will just get better. But ladies and gentlemen, that's what we are told. We are just told, keep quiet. Let the people of Warab talk. They have the right to speak however ill they choose about other people. But when we when we welcome debate, everybody begin to have this concept, oh, they don't like the president. So what did the president do for him not to be liked? I'm sure he has done a lot of wrong things. If he was doing a lot of right things, a lot of us would be dancing on the street right now, praising him. Go to other advanced countries. Go just travel in East Africa, see how other presidents run their countries. And come back to South Sudan and see how South Sudanese are running their countries. Facts is facts. So I'll leave you with this thought, fellow South Sudanese, that let's keep the hope of our unity alive. Let's continue to have positive conversation. Let's not allow one person to decide our destiny as the people of South Sudan. Let's maintain respect for each other communities. Let's choose our language carefully when we speak about other people. And we look forward to many debates down the road. Thank you so much. May God of South Sudan be with all of you. And may you find comfort in knowing the fact that you're not alone. We are all in this together. Thank you.